Hi, welcome to Vaxxer YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about another interesting Am I Wrong story. Am I wrong for telling my husband's best friend she can't host my baby shower? I, 22F, and my husband, 23M, got married young. I was 18, he was 19. Both of us knew we always wanted to get married and start a family young. I started college 2 years ago, and he just graduated with a Bachelor of Biomedical Science. My husband has a girl best friend, 23F, who I'll call Sam, who he met in college. Both of them grew up Baptist, and while he's left the church, they had a very similar childhood and bonded quite quickly. Despite what you may be thinking, her and I got along really well. She and I liked the same music and we were both studying in relatively the same fields, so she became a friend of mine as well. Since I found out I was pregnant though, some issues have started to arise. We announced our pregnancy on social media after we told our parents. Sam texted my husband a congrats text and then told him to pass on her well wishes to me. She's been texting him non-stop with baby advice and what she likes to call advice for mama, which includes sometimes relatively targeted jabs at what I should eat. Honestly, I kept brushing the texts off, but it got a point where the conversations were less about the baby and more about me, which I was getting increasingly uncomfortable with because she wasn't texting me, she was texting my husband. My husband acknowledged this and has just started to show them to me and ask what I want him to do. I just told him to ignore them. When I announced I was having a baby shower and sent out the invites, I received a text from Sam. She said something along the lines of wanting to host my baby shower and set it up. I told her politely that my mom was planning on hosting it with the help of my sister and that it was a special moment for them and I wouldn't want to take that away. Well, Sam ignored that message, because the next day, she came over and insisted we start working out arrangements for the venue. I told her once again, my mom and sister were hosting it and she told me that she should take her advice and let her plan it because she'd ensure that the baby shower would be better if she planned it, particularly because she'd be working on the menu. Whether it was pregnancy hormones or just bottled up rage, I told her that the jabs she'd been making at me behind my back about my diet during this pregnancy to my husband are really annoying. At that, no, she cannot host this shower, and from now on her unsolicited advice was not appreciated, especially if she can't say it to my face. That night my husband's phone blew up with messages from Sam saying that he had no right to show her those messages and they were just supposed to just be health tips because Sam was studying nutritional science and only wanted to help her best friend and ensure a happy baby in life. Honestly, I don't know. I know she had somewhat good intentions and she's been a good friend to my husband and to me, so aita? Now you can enjoy the followers' comments about her statement. Duxmquackers said, NTA. Sam overstepped massively, to the point where it's clear she has more than platonic feelings for your husband. If Sam was truly your friend, she would text you directly. Listen to you. Understand that advice doesn't have to be taken. Not make this about her. Not be upset when you get shown the advice that should be meant for you. It's clear Sam doesn't understand that there needs to be boundaries in the friendship. You and your husband have to be firm about what those boundaries are. This can't be a you thing or a him thing. You both have to be united in this. Teeny Sod said, NTA, your instincts are right on this one. If the two of you got along so well, why wasn't Sam texting you directly with all her helpful advice? This woman sounds like she is trying to insert herself between you and your husband in a really nasty, manipulative way. I think you need to have a serious discussion with your husband about boundaries. What did husband say after his phone blew up? Mother_to3 said, your husband had no right to show you those messages? I assume Sam isn't married. Healthy relationships don't have secrets. You are NTA. He needs to cut her off. Infamous Cup 7097 said, you know what's bad for the baby? Stress, and she's adding to it. Your husband needs to set boundaries with his friend now before he starts looking like an AH. When the baby comes, neither of you will have time to entertain a third party because you'll be exhausted. She sounds borderline crazy. Make sure she doesn't try to hurt you and keep her far away from the baby. Mskatwu said, NTA. Ignoring her messages is not the right solution. It's time for your husband to set specific boundaries. Better yet, invite her over together and have the conversation face to face. She is counting on having separate side conversations with your husband, as evidenced by, that night my husband's phone blew up with messages. That needs to stop. Sit her down and say, we are married and there is nothing you can send me that I am going to keep secret from my wife. Please stop sending me messages about my wife. Do you understand? Black Willow, 99 said, NTA, but at what point is boundary set? Husbands need to let Sam know he is gonna take a step back because her behavior is unacceptable. She is not acting rationally and trying to insist to throw something is the final straw. P's mom said, "Nta. Everyone always has the most insane amount of unsolicited advice for pregnant women and new mothers. Trust me, we've all experienced it, and we've all tried to be polite and smile and accept it graciously. And eventually there's that one person who just won't stop no matter how politely we ask them and tell them their advice/help isn't needed in this situation, and they just won't shut the hell up, and you end up screaming at them and suddenly you're the worst person in the world because they were just trying to help. Don't apologize. Don't feel bad. Her helpful diet tips were sent to your husband, not you. That's not helpful, that's a jab. You repeatedly told her that your mother and sister are organizing your baby shower and didn't need any help, and she didn't listen to you and insisted she could do better. Now you're justifiably pissed. And she can get the hell over it." External_expert_2069 said. "Sam is a creep and is not your friend. She could have connected with your mother and sister to see if she could help. She could have coordinated the cake, flowers, and game or whatever. Or she could have set up a separate brunch to celebrate on a different day. Instead, she feels like she can step in and dictate when this has nothing to do with her. Why does she feel it's appropriate for her to have secrets with your husband? She is the one that has no right. Lol. Sit down with your husband and have a real conversation about this and how the two of you should handle her moving forward. I know it's hard being pregnant with all the big emotions, but go into the conversation with how stressful and uncomfortable this has been. Also, put it in perspective, if you had a male friend that was displaying this kind of behavior, how would he want you handle this?" Pollution Prior 2939 said, "Hello, husband here, waving hand, waving hand, waving hand. I won't give out my name for privacy reasons, but I managed to convince my wife to allow me to come on here and post after reading all your comments, which thank you for all the kind, and not so kind, words. My wife and I love each other very much, and for that reason we are deciding to go low contact on something that could possibly jeopardize her mental health. I do not want to put her under any undue stress, and honestly Sam is not and will never be more important than my wife. I don't really know what else to say but to let out a little secret. My wife has been loving how kind and supportive you all have been, and call it pregnancy hormones, but she started tearing up a little. Also yes, I have read the comments about Sam and I face with tears of joy. No, I haven't, won't, will never, wouldn't dream of cheating on my wife, husband, soon to be dad, adult baby bottle, out." If you like more stories, please subscribe to our channel. See you soon.